Hi, and thank you for joining me for day 30 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life. It's not the last day today, there is one more day to go tomorrow, with October having 31 days. So today I am documenting our garden room that was built last summer. This sketch was absolutely perfect for this. The sketch is by Amanda Castle. She's a joyful scrapper here on YouTube. I'll link her details down below. But because it's got these film strip pieces, I'm going a little bit off-piste from the sketch. You'll see what I mean as it goes on. But I wanted to add loads of little photos of the progress of the garden room throughout the summer of the summer of 2022. I don't know where I am today, oh my goodness. So I've chosen 10 photos. I printed them on the Project Life app, printed them onto 6x4 paper. So I've got 6 photos on each of the papers and just chose 10 of the best photos to show the progress right the way through the summer until the garden room was finished. Well, it doesn't have the doors on the last photo, but it's more or less finished. The building's finished. So once again, I'm using Discover and Create from Vicki Boutin, her brand new collection. It's absolutely glorious. I'm trying to go a bit brighter today and use some more of the colours in the collection. I'm really starting to get to know it now and thoroughly enjoying using it. I can see it being used an awful lot in my future, so I do apologise if you're not keen, but it is one of my favourites at the moment. So I'm just cutting some strips to go behind the photos, and this is where I go a little bit rogue. Amanda's got the film strip crossed with a piece of pattern paper, but I decided to do 2 film strip type pieces and then use plenty of pattern paper behind as a background, just to bring in some more of these colours. So I'm just cutting strips randomly. I don't measure, just more or less at the width that I'm happy with, and I'm just cutting them at the full 12 inches at the moment, and I will trim them down shortly. So this is a great way of getting to know the papers in the collection, and as per my usual, I'm tending to lean towards the B sides of the papers rather than the A sides. Now this is the cut apart 3x4 cards, and I am going to use one of these for my journaling. I cut a couple more just in case. I wasn't quite sure which one I wanted to use at this stage. I was definitely drawn towards the one with the bird, and that's the one that I did use in the end. But I also like the camera, and I did like the typewriter, the idea of using that typewriter and journaling on the paper above it. The green works really nicely with these photos, but as I say, in the end, I end up with that bird one. So I'm just going to roughly position these strips and decide what I want to do. I am going to distress all the edges, but first of all, I'm going to trim them down, and I decide on balance to just gather them all up and trim a small amount off the one end of them. So you'll see that shortly. So here I am just getting them all together, and then just using my scissors to trim a bit off the end, about 1 inch. And then I can reposition them. So using my edge distresser to distress all the edges. That smaller piece is left over from the layout I created yesterday, the middle of the circle for the Wembley Stadium Tour layout. And now I'm just going to move these and manoeuvre these papers around behind. You'll see an awful lot of them are covered by the photo strips, so I'm just trying to work out exactly what to do. And the beauty of just cutting the 1 inch off the end of these papers is that if I want them longer, I can just tear them like I did with that one and extend them, because the tear is hidden behind the photo, so it really doesn't matter. So just manoeuvring again and just making sure that I'm happy with the positioning before I come in with my wet glue and start gluing all of these down. And I'm just adding the glue in the middle. It doesn't need to go right to the ends, the edges of the paper, and that allows me to tuck things in and position them where I want them to be. So tearing that second paper as well. So the green one I want to extend right from the top to the bottom of the page, and then that it's like a blue geometric on white is going to be extended not quite to the edges of the page, but more or less. So I needed to tear that just to extend it a little bit across the page. Like I say, before I did this, I wasn't really sure which ones were going to be longer and which were going to be shorter. So cutting that 1 inch off the top made sense. So you can see I want to make sure that all the colours are seen, that all the papers get their time to shine, so to speak. And then that smallest piece is going to be tucked in at the towards the bottom, and the bottom edge will be hidden by the journaling card anyway. So just getting that situated. I noticed that it wasn't straight. It didn't matter in the end because, like I say, it's being tucked behind that journaling card, but for whatever reason I felt that I needed to straighten that up. Ah yes, I thought it might poke out at the bottom of the page, but no, it's covered in the end, so it really doesn't matter. So just checking that everything is well stuck down and straight. And then I decided that I wanted one more strip. I love this paper. I think it was my favourite paper when I first saw the release of this collection all those months ago. I really absolutely adored this paper. It reminds me of low volume quilting fabrics where they're all tone on tone, and low volume means that the colours aren't saturated. So I did like this very much, and I wanted to get a strip of this in, so I'm determined to do that, and it's going to sit on top of that green there. So again, I'm going to distress all the edges and then just get that stuck down, and I keep this as the full 12 inches again. So there we go, and I really think that brings something else into that cluster. It just didn't feel finished before I'd added that. I'm just trying my best to get it glued down. I'm not very good at that sometimes. And then once again fiddling and faffing with those strips of photos to make sure I get them exactly right. So this journaling card, I am going to distress the edges as well. I add some foam pads to the backs of these photo strips. I'm going to add 5 to each of them and get those stuck down. Don't know what I was thinking. I think I was trying to pull it off as one strip, but that would have been wasteful because you don't need foam all the way down. Just adding them in areas like this is absolutely fine. 5 was plenty. So I'm not going to stick them down just yet. I want to get everything else sorted first. So now this journaling card, like I say, distressing all the edges, and then I'm going to use my crocodile to punch the holes that are showing at the top of the card. It looks like it's a piece of notebook paper, so I just wanted to emulate that by using my crocodile, punching them out, and then I'll tear as if it's been torn out of a notebook. Just taking a little bit of time to do all these hole punching because the bits get stuck in the crocodile, so I'm just having to shake them out each time so I can see where to put the hole next. So now, as I say, I'm just tearing down as if this had been torn out of a notebook pad and roughing up those edges ever so slightly, and then I can write my journaling on this card. I really love how that's turned out. It doesn't look like it's a piece cut from a 12 by 12 sticker sheet. 12 by 12 paper, sorry. That sticker sheet is the alphabet again from the sticker book. I absolutely adore this sticker sheet. So American Crafts, if you ever watch my videos, please can we have this in every colour on 6 by 12 sheets? That would be wonderful, thank you. So I'm just spelling out the word summer with these stickers, and then I'm going to find an LE Studio date stamp just to add 2022 at the bottom. I just needed something really small to add to the bottom, and I end up pulling out my Mowed Lawn Distress Oxide to add that because that goes really nicely with the greens in this collection. So a ridiculously big block because I think the other one is at the sink drying after I'd used it yesterday. And now coming in with the 6 by 12 sticker sheet. So I want to bring some more colour into this. I'm just going to get the photos stuck down before I start embellishing any further because I have a tendency to forget. I could well build up the rest of the layout and then realise I've not stuck this down. So just pulling off the backing. Those are the Stix 225mm foam pads. They're absolutely fantastic, sold on a roll. Do grab them if you can. And just making sure that I'm happy with the positioning. And now coming in with these stickers. No, I'm coming in with my journaling. Sorry about that. So just adding my journaling to the card. And that simply reads, James's sim rig was just too big for his playshed. When I collected Granny and Grandpa from their cruise, Grandpa suggested a garden room. And that's exactly how it happened. He had a lovely playshed that my dad had built them. Well, it was for both of them as young children. And his racing sim, which he was very keen on, and he got some extra bits for his birthday, just wouldn't fit anymore. And I was asking my dad for ideas, and he said, had I considered a garden room, because there was a place up the road that did them, and before I knew it, it was booked in and being built. And yeah, it's wonderful. We're so happy to have it. Couldn't imagine life without it now. So that piece that I'm just sticking down is left over from the LE Studio border dies when I used one of those a few videos ago. It's the reverse bit of the notebook die. And I just thought that would add a little bit of interest down the side of that layout there. I've added that orange sticker next to this here, which says "This is so freaking special." And now I'm going to go through the chipboard pieces and just work out if there's anything in here that I can add to layer up. So at the moment I've added a leaf sticker above the journaling tag, and that does actually get moved. I move that down to the left here where I'm playing about with the bits, and then layer one of the chipboard pieces on top. So I'm just playing about with that green chipboard piece. That one's a little bit big, so I don't end up using that. But this is what I want to do. I want to layer the black and white sticker underneath, and then one of the green chipboard pieces on top. So that's the one that I settle on. It's much better. It bends the other way, so it works nicely with that black and white sticker. So just getting that stuck down now on top of the sticker, as I say. And then I've got that sticker along the bottom that says "This is what real life looks like." And then another chipboard piece, one of the blue arrows going from this here title up to the top of the photo strips. So now I'm playing with the paper clips, and this is an acetate butterfly. It's absolutely gorgeous. The green is amazing in this collection, and I love that. So I'm just going to add that to that little cluster on the left-hand side there. And then I bring in this, it's a paper clip, but I keep it as a full circle. It's just a green circle with a green star on, which I like. I'm looking at the ephemera pieces, but that butterfly is more or less exactly the same as the green one, so I don't like that. So I'm looking to see what else I can find. And I find this little blue button, which I think will work nicely with that green star. So I'm just going to glue that down, but I definitely want to add more to that cluster. I don't like the shape of it at the moment, so I will add some more bits in a bit. Just getting those situated because I'm happy with the way they work around that long sticker. So now going through the sticker book again and settling on a little word that says "Life in Pictures," and again that goes at the bottom of the page. And then I'm going to go onto the green sheet and find a little label and add that to that cluster at the bottom. So I'm liking how that's looking, but I know I want something else to layer over that. I think about adding it to the right, but it definitely needs to go on the left-hand side there. So just tucking that in underneath the button and star. And then I go back to the sticker sheet and find this lovely floral and just add that as a layer over the label and that star, and it works really nicely. So now onto the 6x12 foam stickers. I love that these are foam rather than chipboard. It's just something different. American Crafts are always trying to change it up, and I really like that. So adding this clipboard piece to the top of that photo strip, and then there's another piece that says "You Do You" on a tab, which I really like. So add that to the left, and then 3 of these gold dots, the foam dots that Vicki always has in her collections. So finally, just going to cover up those photos and add some gold splatters, and that's the layout done. I really hope you've enjoyed this. Thoroughly enjoying this collection. I highly recommend it if you haven't picked it up yet. I know it's only just hitting the stores. It's perks of being a store owner, I think, but I'm able to use it so quickly. I do hope you'll continue to watch as we go into the last day tomorrow. So I shall see you then. Thanks so much. Bye.